Hope you all are with me. Yes? All are with me? How many of you are with me? Raise your hands. What about others? Yes? Are you there? Okay. I think I asked you to start doing your activity. What were the activities that are there till 2.2? Is it 2.2 or 3.2? I think 2.2, right? What all aspects did you fill? You might have written your problem statement, right? You have written your domain, you have written the industry. What else you have written? You have even identified your solution. Did you write your solution? Right? You did write. Okay. Did you write who the customer is? Did you write? Okay. Did you prepare even the customer persona? Is that done? Done? Only few. What about others? So anyway, by end of the day, you are supposed to complete all these aspects. And before leaving you, we thought we will cover two important aspects. One is related to market size, and if time permits, and if you cooperate, we will also complete business standard model. It again depends on how you accept. Okay, and we don't want to overload you again. So, end of the session, we will try to understand these concepts, that is, apply value fitment concepts to map customer pains and gains into a clear value proposition, right? Analyze multiple solutions, ideas to identify differentiation and uniqueness. Evaluate the opportunities potential by reviewing industry trends and estimating the market size, and create a structured value proposition by integrating customer insights, market opportunities, and basic financial thinking. So, whenever you try to build the solution, right, these are the 5 important things that has to be considered. What are they? Can you read out? What is the first point? Understand the real customer needs. What does it mean? So you have identified who should be your target customers. Okay. Now, what is that the customer wants? Unless and until you have clarity on his requirements, you will not be able to propose a good solution. Right? What is the second point that we have there? Explore multiple solutions, not random ideas. What does this mean to you? What does this mean to you? I'm asking you to identify all possible solutions. Why? Let us say, today I thought of some problem. Okay? I understood the customer needs and I found one possible solution and I started building on it. Okay. Tomorrow, you would see that whatever solution I am giving today might be a failure solution. That is what happened with Nokia. Right? Yes or no? As and when you see that customers are keep changing, their thoughts keep changing, their needs keep changing. Today, if you go and ask a customer, he say, yes, I like X. But tomorrow, if you go and ask him, I don't like X, but I like Y. Is that possible? Yes or no? So, you have to think in multiple ways and see what all solutions are possible. You have to work on different dimensions. Right? And third thing is what? What makes your solution unique versus competition? What does it mean? What is the USP? But what is the term to be used now? Unique value proposition. That is what we just understood from Yogesh. What is the baseline? You have to understand what is the unique value proposition. Right? And then finally, how big is the market? Why should I know what is my market size? That helps you to understand the scalability of your solution. Tomorrow, If I know what is my total market size, if I'm able to scale up, I know what would be my target market that I can beat, right? Yes. And finally, can it be sustained as a business? Today you might feel that yes, it works out well, but as you try to scale up, it might not work well, right? You might get into risks even, right? So why should we generate multiple solutions? Why should we generate? First thing is you should look at the wide possible ways of generating the ideas of it. And if I know what are all the possibilities of it, I can look at what are possible solutions I can generate. And definitely for all solutions, do you have mechanism to build? Do you have mechanism to build? Yes or no? Everybody wants to be on moon. What is the market size? How many of you wants to go to moon and stay there? You don't wish? Do you wish? You don't wish? Suppose if I provide a vehicle which can take you from land to moon, will you? Still you don't. I say only the travel cost is 1 rupee. And I say you can go and visit, stay there for a day and come back. Will you wish? Yes? Yes. What are the challenges there? Huh? I'm saying something which is not possible. Can I provide a travel cost of 1 rupee, taking you there to moon and get back to you here? Is that really possible? If I say I'll charge you 1 CR and take you to moon a trip, is that possible? Maybe possible. But for how many? Maybe 10 for today. But tomorrow everybody starts earning with that design. Can I provide? Not possible, right? So you also need to check whether these ideas can be built upon each other. So if I have, say, let us say I found that 2 are possible or feasible solutions, can I integrate them? Is that possible? If possible, I would integrate them, right? So that it can serve 2 purposes with 1 goal. And finally, is that appreciate diverse perspectives. So is that allows the team to collaborate and build the solution. So if you look at this picture, right, what comes to your mind and what do you propose? As I said in the previous session, we always have to think about the root cause of the problem, right? And once we know the root cause of the problem, we have to do analysis on what is the impact it causes. And then you should think about what is the possible solution that can be given to it. Now looking at this picture, what comes to your mind? I'm expecting you to answer. What comes to your mind? What could be the reason for it? Heavy vehicles traveling on the road? Yes, one possibility. Heavy rains could be the other reason? Yes. No proper quality maintained while laying the road? Yes, possible. Next. There is no proper maintenance? Yes, possible. Anything else? What would be the impact of these potholes? Accidents? Vehicle damage? Anything else? Traffic? Time consuming? Okay. Traffic jams? Right? Anything else? Okay. Now let us think about proposing the solutions. What problem you would solve? See, all of them are not same. What would be the problem that you're going to solve?
As a name is what we can have there is plastic waste so that it maintains the law.
So one option to avoid potholes is he's proposing to lay plastic, right? So that it will not cause quick damage. Okay. Anything else?
Better suspension quality. Okay.
You can think of, since you know that there are such possibilities, you can improve the suspension quality of the vehicle. Okay. Any more?
Government can't unable to track all the potholes in the city, so I will build an app so citizens can take pictures and post it in the app. So it will give reward to the citizens. So government can able to track easily and fix it.
One of your friends says that I would go with an application which will track the pothole immediately and intimate that to the government so that it would be repaired immediately with less cost. Because as the pothole size increases, even the cost of repair also increases. So you are trying to make a smart system which will address the increase in damage of the road within no time. Good. Any other?
Include fly ash in construction, which will decrease the impact of moving.
So one of your friend again wants to add fly ash, which will improve the quality of the road, right? So, see, each one of you have proposed a different way of looking at the problem, and you have proposed different possible solutions, right? Which of them are feasible? Technically, economically, which of them are feasible? App one. Is that always possible with app? There could be some places where technology might not be reached. It could be a place where there are no heavy rainfalls. See, it again depends on other various conditions. Yes or no? So if it is a place where 24 by 7 throughout the year there is always a heavy rainfall, what would be the way of addressing it? Strengthening the way or mechanism which is used to lay the road where the wear and tear would be less, right? If it is very rarely, then probably other possible solutions because cost of that solution also changes. Yes or no? I do not choose one type of solution to be used every day because it is a highly rainy place. The kind of solution what I choose there might not be the same in the place where it is always a snow or might not be a place where it is always the sun. Is that clear? So that is the reason you have to explore all possible solutions and then check technically which are all feasible. So in this regard, you always have to do a lot of brainstorming, right? And then come up with possible things. So there is an activity 3.1 where you can propose all possible solutions for the problem statement that you have chosen. So you have to even complete this activity. Next, I found 10 ideas here, right? For the pothole, how many ideas did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 5. Out of these 5, how do you choose the best one? Is that important for us? Yes? So how do we choose the best idea? So this is the typical criteria that can be chosen to identify the best solution that you are going to propose. What are those criteria that we have to consider? What is the first one? Do you have the technology to build it? Right? So is it air technology? You said you can use plastic, waste plastic. But what if that region doesn't have any plastic? So you have to get it from some other place. we are using, because we are not following the rules and we are not addicted to have a better way of lifestyle, right? But there are certain cases where they are strictly prohibited. Hmm.
With less material, we can build much longer roads.
So you have to get the required quantity of raw material, right? Yes or no? The second thing is how much time will the solution deployment takes? Suppose I am having pothole in center of the city. What is the center of the city? 14? Secunderabad railway station, right? It's the center of the city. And here, if I want to repair, if I have to block the four sides of the road in order to lay the road, and if it takes 15 to 20 days, is it appreciated? Just imagine what would be the mess that is caused. Yes or no? But these days, thanks to the technology, now have you observed anybody who traveled towards Jubilee Hills? Have you seen? Have you seen how the repairs are happening? They use bulldozers and all that. Within night, they dig a pot, right? Whatever the pipeline they have to lay, they will lay parts, and immediately by morning 6 o'clock, it's cleared and it's no disturbance. So there is no traffic jam. Why is that possible? How is that possible? Because you have the technology and you are able to do it within very short time, right? So how much time is needed to deploy the solution is also one important factor. And do you have the team to develop it? Let us say that you have thought of a problem which is aligned with medical device, and you all are tech guys, or let us say you all are computer science guys, and you don't have anybody who is in medical, and can you build a right solution? Why? You don't have the domain knowledge. So in your team, whom you should have? You should have a medical person who has the domain knowledge. So you should also look at what is the type of team that you have. You should have persons who has expertise in every aspect of building the solution. When I say every aspect of the solution to be built, what are all aspects that comes in? Domain knowledge, is it the only domain knowledge? Decision making person, right? Finance guy, is it required? So every aspect that is needed should be known to your team member. So they should be expertise in that. And then can the solution scale up? Today I'm trying to target 10 people. But tomorrow there is a demand for 100 people. Can I produce those many products? Possible or not? Yes or no? If no, I can't meet the demand, so naturally there would be a downfall of the curve. Right? So you should also check the feasibility in scaling up and how unique will the solution be. So these are the 5 guiding criteria to shortlist the best solution out of all that you have. Yes, please.
If the demand over exceeds the potential of the company, uh, how would the company experience the downfall? I mean, more competition will try to take up the space, right? Because there's market space.
There are 2 ways in looking at. Suppose, say for instance, today I have started a company which can produce say 100 products, right? Now I found that there was a demand of 200 products per month. Let us say. The moment I release next month, I got requests for 200. Usually, you might have seen out of stock, waiting list, and all that. So I found that there was waiting 200 requests. So immediately I'm very greedy. So what do? I increase my infrastructure. Okay. When I increase my infrastructure, next month I'm capable of producing 200, 300, 400. But immediately you will see that there is a downfall because there is some other product which is having similar features what I have today, and along with that there is again another special feature which is added by. So what happens? definitely I would feel experience a downfall, right? So how you can scale up unless and until you make a proper market study, you cannot assume that this is how you can take it forward. Okay?
Here, ma'am. So whenever so I've seen this particular case in one of the startups. So whenever the sudden demand is getting increased, actually, suppose in first month we have 100 units, and second month suddenly it will get escalated to 200. So instead of immediately increasing the infrastructure, what happened is with that particular standard, so they started putting their hands and increasing, and scaling up their production also. They started increasing their production up to 200, 300 also. And after the 3 4 years again, the demand got reduced. So that's the reason they understood that. So whenever there is a sudden increase, so instead of increasing or scaling up, so their limitations, they started outsourcing the production to the other manufacturers. But taking proper measures that so the quality will not be compromised. So that is what they have done. So one particular product, a startup which is involved in software and hardware development, they started developing software. So they started developing software, they started developing hardware, and they started developing this UI, UX, everything they started developing, and they started recruiting the people also by paying 50,000 stipend like that, 20,000 stipend like that. But after 3 4 months, so when the projects got completed, so everything that got completed, when there is no demand, now the people who are there inside their startup, so who are expertise in this particular domains. So product, PCB design, and then UI UX design, but there was no work for them actually. So then they realized that for such things there is no need of hiring those people. Instead of that, so we can use the freelancers who are available in the market, and also there were people who can outsource such work for us. So and that they started engaging in the activities in that manner, and then so there is success in that. So that is suggestion I would like to give. We should not put our hands in everything. So we should not think that I will be developing this particular product from scratch, teach it everything, I will be doing. No. So whatever the expertise that you have, so you focus on that, and the remaining activities you can outsource from the outside. Yes, yes. If there is regular search and demand, then you can establish your own. But if it is only temporary, then you need to collaborate.
So actually it happens in majority of times, even if you have observed, how many of you have seen floppy disks? How many of you have seen CD drives? Now they have become obsolete, right? Now how many of you are using pen drives? If you go down the lane, even those will be obsolete because majority of them they are shifting all their data onto cloud because it is easy to access. There is no loss. Only thing is you have to look for the security. So we don't know how market changes. There could be some products which could be sustainable for a long time, but especially technology-based products, they will be live for a very short period. You can capture the market, earn, and get out of it. That's the trend now. Okay. So whenever you are choosing any solution, these are the three key questions that you have to ask yourself. How distinct is it, right? And how will it work? And what benefits will the user enjoy out of your product? So if you are able to answer all these questions and if you can justify it for yourself, then that is where you have chosen the right solution. Okay? So I think these things are known to you. So coming to venture journey activity, you are supposed to build 3.2, 3.3, 3.4 and 3.5, which is on select the solution idea, right? And then you have to propose the design of the solution, whatever solution that you're choosing. And then you have to give the user experience or journey to that. And finally, build your prototype. So you can also have various ways of projecting your solution. Sir, prototype, shall we continue? Yes. The other shall we not? Okay. But for now, I think in your venture journey, you are supposed to complete all these activities, right? And finally, let us just try to understand three important things. Now, if you look at this product, can you tell me who are the competitors of it? Finlay? Do you have only the direct competitors or do you have even indirect competitors? Who are your indirect competitors? Soft drinks, coconut water, right? So, for anything that you bring into market, you always have to do analysis on who would be the competitors. It could be a direct competitor or an indirect competitor. Who are the direct competitors for this app? There are a lot of, what is Healthify app? Heard about it? No? It will help you in maintaining your health in terms of measuring how much steps you are taking, how much you are eating. It will give you recommendations based on your activity, how much you can eat, how much you can drink, how much you have to sleep, everything, right? It's a kind of guide. So who are the direct competitors? You have TimeFit, right? Or other apps which are available, and who are your indirect competitors? Gym centers, yoga centers, and all that, right? So you need to analyze who are your direct competitors because that is the place where you have to compete with them, and also stand out from them. Unless and until you do that, you won't be able to get your market, right? And indirect competitors are also important because we don't know how they would influence your usage of the application. So you need to always do an assessment on what is the size of your market. There are three terms.
So let me give one example on this actually. So this is again one important thing. So where the investors will be asking you or the jury panel members. As soon as you are pitching some idea, first question will be, so what is your problem on which you are working, and then you will be explaining the problem as well as then solution. Then immediately, so unique value proposition, unique selling propositions. And after that, they'll ask about so what is your time, market size that we ask. So now, so let me explain this in a small example. So suppose so in your college, you have learned everything and you understood the importance of coding, and you are comfortable with coding, maybe you are expertise in coding, experts in coding also. Now you started taking the coding classes for your juniors in your college. And let us say that so you are taking the classes for about some 20 students, 20 junior students. And what you are doing is while explaining the coding, suppose it is C coding or Python coding, so you are using the regional language also. You are giving all examples, all sort of examples, and you are using your best efforts such that the 20 students will be understood everything. And after 2 3 months, so you understood that you are doing very well, and also you are getting very good name in the college also. People are saying that so you are doing great. So it is teaching the coding compared to other platforms which are available. So then what you did is right. So with this experience as you have been doing well, now you are planning to extend it for 10 more colleges or in the entire district. So you want to scale it up. Now you have taken the support of juniors whom you have taught the coding with the help of those juniors. So you have spread your business across the district for about 10 colleges or 20 colleges. And this is also success. This is also running well for 2 to 3 years. Next, you want to expand it for the entire state. No, you will be expanding this only for the entire state. The reason is that so you are using the regional language to explain the respected coding principles such a way that the students will understand to the code perfectly. So that's the reason. So you want to capture the entire market only in your state. So not the entire country or across the world. So you are more specific on that. So the maximum market that you are expecting is the entire state. So you want to launch your the coding classes the entire state. So that is the total addressable market. The final market size. In ideal case, whatever you will be the capturing. So at last, after 10 years or 20 years, finally, so this is my market size. So that is the total addressable market. Initial market. So where you are taking the classes for 10 students or 20 students, this is your serviceable obtainable market, immediate market. So this immediate market, you will be there in your immediate market for about 1 to 3 years ideally. So for 1 to 3 years, for 1 to 2 years, you will be in your serviceable available market only. And then in between this TAM and SOM, so that is serviceable available market. So immediately you cannot capture the TAM actually, so total addressable market. The reason is there will be geographical limitations. So there will be some financial constraints or human resource constraints, or else you may not apply to the entire so the state like that. So that's the reason you may not be in a position to capture the entire TAM. So as soon as you launch your product, and also it is not advisable to launch your product on that particular scale. So always, so you will be launching it in a limited version actually limited version. So here we have taken an example of 20 students or 10 students. So it may be the case like I want to launch an app, so where it will be used for the working group of people, so only in metropolitan cities. So it will be the first. Or instead of all the metropolitan cities, you may trial it with only one particular city, next all metropolitan cities, next entire country, so where there is proper internet infrastructure. So that's how it happens. So you need to be very particular on this. And here, when you are working on the Bootcamp platform, so what you need to do is, suppose whenever you are calculating the sum, so the first, so serviceable, so obtainable market, so which is there. So serviceable obtainable market. Suppose if there are 20 students whom I am taking classes, 20 into, I will be charging 100 rupees for each student. 20 into 100 rupees, so 2000. So 2000 rupees is my serviceable obtainable market. Suppose if you want to calculate for so 1 year, so multiply by 12. Then after that, the next is I am saying that so I am expanding it for the 10 colleges and size limit for 20 into 10, so 200 students, 200 into 100, so maybe 20,000. So next for the entire state. Now when you are working on the platform, so suppose if your product is related to the working women, you can take the statistics which are provided by the government of India. So easily you can get it from the Google. So approximate figures you will be getting. Or suppose if you want to apply your product for the kids who are between 6 to 14 years age, then again such statistics are also available. So you can calculate particular data from the Google and then you can calculate. So you will be figuring out how much subscription. Suppose if you want to give your product based upon subscription fee, so per year annual subscription or monthly subscription, then you can quote that particular figures. Or else if you are selling it one time also sale, then you can add that value multiplied by the total number of people in that particular group. So that gives the market size.
And it is very important to fill this TAM, SAM and SOM in the portal. Okay.
One example is given here, Airbnb. So it says that so the total addressable market is so 1.9 so billions, and serviceable obtainable market is 532 millions, and serviceable available market is 10.6 millions. So there is another example, Blinkit, global online grocery market. So it is estimating around $150 billion annually. $150 billion, where it captures the global market. So that's fine. On the full global market, if it captures $150 billion. And there are the SOM, which are saying the limited, immediate market, SOM, serviceable obtainable market, is only $1.5 billion, where it is targeting only Indian cities, major Indian cities. So major Indian cities, and it is estimating $1.5 billion annually. And in between this, so we have serviceable available market, which is saying that so the online grocery market in India. So the entire India I want to capture and $10 billion. So the initial is $1.5 billion, or let's assume that it is $1 billion. Then it is scaling up to $10 billion, and after that it is going around 100. So $150 billion like that.
activity even for this, that is 4.2 has to be filled. Okay, so when you're coming for tomorrow, what is the homework? Please do have brainstorming done, okay? And follow all the learnings and then accordingly fill. And don't worry about how you are writing. You can use ChatGPT, which is available on the platform, and also you can give the queries, you write prompting so that it will refine the way you want it to be. Okay? So can that be done by tomorrow? Yes, if you have any questions, the platform is open for you now.
And remember, so these are the things which you people need to learn when you are in this ecosystem. Yesterday also I asked. So these terminologies will not be taught in regular course. I mean, wherever you are in engineering program. So these terminologies will not be familiar. Without these terminologies, so we will be applying for hackathons and we will be winning the hackathons also. But so to be professional and to be expertise on this particular area, so you need to get familiarized with these terminologies. So if it is not clear, you can search for more examples on this, you get more clarity on this. Now apply this terminologies and apply this particular things for your proposal, and then I'm sure that you will understand, you will do better.
And it is not just limited only for hackathons, even the projects what you are doing as an engineer, right? You have to think entrepreneurially. Because you have learned the concept. Now whenever you are doing something, you should think, why am I doing it? What is the outcome of it? Who is going to use that? Unless and until you answer these three questions, whatever project you do is of no use. Yes? Yes? So whatever you do, let that have some outcome. Without any key performance metrics, whatever we do, its value is 0. You want to create the value 1, then you have to have this thought process in every aspect that you are doing. Okay?
Still, there are students who are not part of any ventures.
Yeah.
I think the ventures were not created still. I mean, ventures created, the team additions, so were not done. So please ensure that, so it will be done. Around 170 students, 171 students, they are not part of any venture it seems. So
They will not be certified unless and until you are forming a venture and you are submitting all the activities, you will not be certified. Please enroll yourself, make a team, form a venture. So at least by end of today, can we expect that? And remember, all the activities can be done by any one of you or parallelly. But when can you do parallelly? If everybody knows what the problem you are solving, you can do it parallelly. Okay.
passion CV to be done by everyone. Team to be created by team leader, and team leader will add all the team members, and the entire venture will be created by the team members. So the members, whereas the remaining people, they can go browse through the country.
Any questions regarding certification? Any questions regarding certification? Yes? So everything is clear, right? So by end of these 5 days, we expect every one of you to participate in the pitch deck. Thank you. Tomorrow, please join sharp by 9:30.